You're here, I'm here, good music's here to be played and to be talked about. If I've earned your subscription by the end of this video, I'll be ever so grateful. I'm Alan, this is Alan Reacts. See you on that side of the tape. Hello all, welcome back. If it's your first time, hello. So, you got through this side of the tape of my intro. Tool. My last reaction to Tool was Vicarious, so this is reaction number 16 for a band I've been to see live since they were introduced to me by you guys. Told me to go and listen to them on the channel. Vicarious ripped me to bits, and it's such a pleasure, but it's also not daunting. I'm not getting hurt when I listen to a song like that's really emotional or really, like I just reacted to Don't Let Daddy Kiss Me, Motorhead. It's on the channel. A tough song. I nearly turned it off, but it doesn't actually hurt you. When it challenges you and makes you stop or suspend any belief you have in what the world is outside of the music in that moment, then it's a great song. Tool have never let me down, from seeing them live to this. But just the title, ugh. Now, I never positioned the video. I've gone for the audio because one of the videos I did for a contentious track by YouTube actually got me a warning from YouTube, which is on my record forever, and I lost the whole week. I don't want to get a second one, and that's not Tool's fault. It's just YouTube, and it's random, and I don't bother fighting it because there's no point. I know I've dragged that on for a bit, but this is from Undertow, the album, released after the EP Opiate. Opiate's a great song I've reacted to. Check out the channel playlist, guys. But I am kind of looking forward to this, but with bated breath. So here we go, Tool with Prison Sex. It's from their channel. It's already brutal, but what catches me, this is a protagonist, this is from the first person, and it's do unto others before they do unto you, which is really, again, it's Maynard and them leaning back into that religious overtones, which is one of the ethical directives. Do unto others as you would have them do to you, not what they've done to you as you would have them do to you. So he's twisted that already, so clearly setting the tone. Oh, it's dark. It's dark already.
You look so precious, won't you come up closer? I can smell you. I need you to feel this. I can't stand to burn too long. Release inside of me. One sweet moment at home. Listen to me. Trusted, holy, this one, holy, medium with no peace of mind.
The song's building, the story's building, the narrative is horrific. And it's bringing to thoughts in my mind the reaction. What am I thinking? What's my perception? What would I do? What's this? Is this about his own inner turmoil at the victim of abuse? No, I don't think it's biographical. Is it the story of what happens when you have been abused and you become an abuser? Potentially. But I need to pull it together in my mind. So let's hear the rest of it.
Got your hands bound and your head down and your eyes closed. You look so precious now.
So important, that phrase.
Be over soon. You look so precious. You look so precious. You look so precious. You look so precious. You look so precious now. You look so precious.
So what's he singing about? What are they telling us? What's the narrative? What's the mini story here? It seems fairly obvious, but what it is to me is it's the pre-story, the beginning, being the victim of abuse. Then it's the actual act happening in that moment. But it's not an apologist. It's not a sort of, I did it because I am. It's also telling you about the torture the person feels and the release, that moment of sanity in that moment, that the person in front of them is the lamb and the martyr. So it's two sides of that story, both what they see when they're doing it and what they know where they are, that contradiction in terms. And I guess it raises the question of, how do you see somebody who's become that? Are they human? I know you hear all the stories online about, put them in a room with me for 5 minutes and, I'll have my revenge. It just doesn't happen. It's very rare, and truthfully, I've got a kind of forensic background in this. This is something I have specialized in the past. And there's never a rhyme or a reason. This is only a small percentage of the people that do this horrific crime. There is no real proof. Not proof. It's not It's not a given that those who are abused become abusers. It's just not. Does it happen? Of course. But it's the bigger question is, are they still human? And what are we learning from this? That there's been a previous horror, a trauma, that has then led to the perpetuation of that cycle of trauma and abuse. But there is some guilt and also joy and guilt and terror and horror all built into the act itself. And it begs the question, really, is this person human? For me, the answer is yes. I'm not an apologist. Because outside of that, there are still other traits to that person's life, whoever. Doesn't mean they shouldn't be in prison forever and not released. Doesn't mean that they shouldn't be punished. Not what I'm saying. But we do need to understand this is a study of one angle of why someone can do that horrific crime. But there are more. And it opens a real broad discussion of a subject that's not dealt with rationally in the first instance by anybody. And I don't mean victims' families, I mean by society at large. We just broad stroke it as, well, we'd just get rid of them, we'd extinguish them from society. No, that's not the answer. And it's a fascinating song, and it's painful, and it's deeply dark, and it's graphic. And I guess it's Maynard assaulting your senses by saying, okay, deal with it. Who are you? What do you do when you see this? What do you think when you hear this? And it is a prison of their own cycle. And it is a he or she, by the way. Yes, the massive majority is perpetuated by men. But there are still women who do this as well. Look at Fred and Rose West. But it's such a difficult song, and I don't want to proselytize. I don't want to give it any thought other than you need to decide. In truth, deep, dark thinking, if you came across that person, would you want the 5 minutes in a room? Or do you want to understand what they did and how you can prevent it happening to other people? And that's what makes this song for me great. Like Vicarious, which ripped me to bits, this has done exactly the same. A very sobering song, as sober as on this album. A very somber, deeply painful, punishing and brutal song. Yeah, but it has more to it than that. Guys, let me know what you think. Until next time, take care. This is Alan Reacts. I'm Alan, your host. If I've earned your subscription by the end of this video, I'll be ever so grateful. But most of all, I want you to have a good time. I'm Alan. This is Alan Reacts. See you on that side of the table.